Hey guys, Shin here with some Pokemon battles. No, it's been a while, but gonna try to get right into this. Got three battles for you today. First up is a battle on Pokemon 9 versus Yoonzee. I'm gonna leave with my Fuego, you go for the Sableye, see what he's gonna do. And he just goes for the Taunt, which doesn't really matter because I'm just gonna Fire Blast him. He doesn't take that too well. He's gonna switch out and go to this Tyranitar, who I'm just gonna go for the safe Fire Blast anyway, because I don't think he had anything on his team with Flash or anything of the sort anyhow. With that, I'm gonna go right into my Sting as he switches into Tyranitar to see what he'll do. He goes for the Super Power, which is obviously not gonna help him out, because now I have that up. I go for the Substitute on my Sting, because Poison Heal is gonna give me all that back anyway. I was gonna go for the Encore, and I decide to just stay in with this and just keep using the substitutes because I can't really afford anything else. Taking a Stun Spore really, because Leech Seed I could just switch out of. It goes for the Taunt, which I think nullifies the Encore. Oh no, the Encore ended right as he used Taunt, which was funny. And then he goes for the Encore again, which fails, which I guess makes a bit of sense because I didn't really have a move to use last turn, so he can't Encore me. And with that, he's gonna go into his Tentacruel, which I'm gonna Ice Fang, and he's not really gonna take that too well. Which I don't understand why he'd go into a Tentacruel anyway, knowing that I am a Gliscor and I probably have the Earthquake, and that just kills him in one hit. Now, going right back into his Whimsicott, goes for the Leech Seed, and I'm just gonna go for the Ice Fang straight away just to see how much it's gonna do. And with that, I freeze it, which is great because if not, this thing would have been a real pain in the ass for the rest of the match. Now, I go into my Scarlet. Now I'm just going to set up an SD as it stays frozen solid. So that's pretty good stuff going on there. And then it thaws out, and the next turn is going to go for the Encore, which I'm just going to go for another Swords Dance. And just wondering what this thing is going to do. Well, not really. I just go right back on to Sting. Because Sting had walled this thing anyway because of the Toxic Heal. Then I switch out again and go to my Fuego for whatever reason. I'm guessing just to try to scare it out with a Fire Blast. It uses Leech Seed. I go for the first Fire Blast I miss, which is one of the reasons why I change this move later on, as I continue using them. But then goes to the Fire Blast I missed. I just go for another Fire Blast because there's really anything else better to do, and I really don't want this one just guy to just try to either set up on me or even just stay with me. And by now, it's not used Stun Spore, which is interesting, because you'd think it would have used Stun Spore by now. And keep setting up its subs, which doesn't really make a difference, because we're just, slowly stalling, and I'm slowly losing. And he uses Substitute again. And this is what I should have done in the first place, which is go into Venus, which is a special wall, along with the fact that it has Hidden Power Ice. So it's not really going to want to stay in here, especially since it cannot Leech Seed me. And his Whimsicott finally switches out and goes to the Tyranitar, and obviously I just stay with the Hidden Power. And the Sandstorm does a little damage to me, better recover back the leftovers. And it uses Crunch for some reason, which is funny, because I go for the close combat, and because of the Crunch, I just keep my attack going up. I don't know what he thought I was going to switch into to use the Crunch, but they don't work out too well for him, as you see. Now I go for the Workup for some stupid reason, knowing that Aaron is a big user of Endeavor. And bam, there I go, I'm dead. And I go right into my Scarlet, go for the Swords Dance, knowing that the Sandstorm is not going to kill me, so I really have nothing to worry about. Then he switches out into Sableye, and I'm just going to go for the Roost, just to heal some of my HP back. Now from here, I believe I'm just going to Bullet Punch the Sableye, just to get it out my face, because I really don't need it staying in and burning anyone on my team, if it even has burn. Then he goes to the Whimsicott, which sets up the Leech Seed, and I just go for the Bullet Punch. And that Whimsicott is gone, so I think that was just his bad play of the day. I go for the Bug Bite, which I don't really think it matters. That was a crit or whatever the case may be, because he's just going to go for the Endeavor, and I think the Leech Seed is going to kill me anyhow. And there it goes. And there's some glitch. For some reason, it brought his HP down to 0. Obviously, his HP isn't 0. Now, I go for the Trick, which fails, which, as you see later on, is going to help out a lot. Then I'm going to go into my Fuego, because there's nothing he can really do against this thing. Goes for the Protect. I go set up my Stealth Rocks. There's really nothing else to do, but that was also a waste of time, being the fact that his last Pokemon was actually a Magic Guard Pokemon. Then I just switch right back out into my Gliscor, because this is pretty much the only thing that'll be able to wall this thing at all. Goes for the Endeavor. It doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna keep subbing up just to have him waste out his Endeavors, since I'll be able to get a good amount of subs up, thanks to the fact that I have Poison Heal. And yeah, this is gonna go on for a bit before I believe he tries to go for another move or something. No, okay, I decided to switch out. And he goes for the superpower, which does nothing, which is hilarious. And Fuego's just gonna recover the whole, leftover stuff. He goes for the Endeavor and I Protect. So I'm just whittling down these Endeavors because they're really annoying. Finally he gets the burn, which means he's just not really gonna be able to last another turn because the burn is just gonna kill him. And just waiting on it, and I Protect. So there's nothing he can do now. And he's gonna use superpower, which does absolutely nothing, and bam, he's dead. And bam, there we go. The trouble. Alakazam is here. And I go into my Gastrodon just to see, and it has Psyshock. Thinking interesting. I go for the Toxic for some stupid reason. Because at that time, I was not thinking that, with the fact that he did not take any damage from Stealth Rocks. So that was just a waste of time. Gets me with a Psyshock, and I decided to run my Maytag and probably do the trick of the century. Because I trick him, which takes away his life from him, and give him a Choice Scarf, which locks him into a Psyshock. Mind you, Gliscor is a defensive beast, so this is going to work out beautifully in my favor as I send Gliscor out. And he's going to be able to take this guy because it's Choice Scarf, not Choice Specs. And thankfully, the sub actually helped out a lot. Because with the whole heal, and hopefully he doesn't get a crit, which he doesn't, I'm going to be able to take this guy right out. And that's the end of that match. And that was just a really good match. Very close, as you see. 1-0. But good games, Yoonzee. And I'm just going to jump right into the next match, which I believe is, against my friend EternaLyricis, the guy who made me the wallpaper, named Scorpio. And the following next matches, you're going to see why people should use Empoleon more. Now, I'm going to lead out with my Fuego, and it goes to his Mew. I was thinking it was just a setup, so I was going to, trade rocks, but it goes Nasty Plot, and I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be bad. Goes for Aura Sphere, which isn't going to kill me because this thing is really specially bulky, so I know even at a +2 it wouldn't kill me. And I go for the Toxic, because even with a Synchronize on a Steel type, he's not going to be able to poison me. And this is when I start stalling the hell out of him, because the Toxic damage eventually is going to rack up enough damage that he's going to be forced to switch out. Goes for the Aura Sphere again, I Protect, just heal up, and I'm just hoping the second Protect will not miss, because I cannot afford it to miss at all. And bam, there you go. Because obviously Aura Sphere is not going to miss because it's one of those moves. If I go for the Fire Blast, because there was nothing else to do because I didn't really counter Protect. But interesting enough, he switches out into his Lucario, which is just horrible because that thing's just going to get wailed on with a Fire Blast really badly. And that probably relieves another big threat to my team in this match. But, that being said, he goes right back into Mew. And I know I'll be able to survive an Aura Sphere, so I'm just going to go for another Fire Blast just to take some more health out this thing. Because being that it's a Heatran and it stabs, is not really anything anyone wants to deal with. And here's another thing here. I believe I go for the Protect, which was a waste on this turn. Because this turn he oh no, look at that. Goes for the Aura Sphere. And by now I'm thinking, I think by now he's probably going to have some sort of recovery move, so I'm just going to go, no, there you go, I switch out. And I go to Sting, who's going to be able to take a resisted Aura Sphere anyhow, but he goes for the Roost, which, it's like, ah, damn it, Sting's going to heal, but not to worry about, because that Toxic is not going to treat him so well. And I stay with Sting just to see what's going to happen. I think I set up a sub. And he goes to a Suicune, his Liger Jager. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. I think that's a Zoid reference. But he goes into his Liger Jager as I switch right back into my Fuego. And I was just like, god damn it. Because I do not need this thing staying with this guy. But being that especially defensive, I think I tried to go for the Toxic, but I miss. Which is just depressing because I survived. And that really would have been a good Pokemon that had Toxic. Because I did not need that thing. And as you see, he goes for a sub. And it's just like, ah! Go for the Fire Blast, but since it's Resistance, and I don't really have any EVs in special attack, it's not even going to do much of anything. And then it's going to go for another Scald. I'm just going to let it kill my Heatran. It's just going to be death fodder for now, because there's nothing else I could really do with it. And here, I decide to go into my Laharl, which is my Empoleon. It's going to completely wall this thing, and he switches out. Goes to a Supernova, which is Victini, as I set up an Agility, because this is an Agility Empoleon. And with the perfect defense EVs, I only put 24 EVs in defense, but that was enough to survive a recreate from, I believe, a choice Scarf Laharl, because it was able to outspeed me after that. And I missed the first Hydro Pump, which is depressing. But since he used a recreate, his speed is lower, and I can guarantee another Hydro Pump just blasting it away. And now that I'm in Torrent range, a lot of his Pokemon are actually in a hell of a lot of danger. Then he goes out into his Mew, which takes rocks damage, and I just Hydro Pump this thing too. Um, Interesting. With the EV set, this thing always barely survives a hit, and because it's 319, it'll take minimum damage from, Leech Seed, Stealth Rocks, whatever the case may be. So this build of Empoleon, even though it's UU, I believe it deserves to be in a higher tier because it can really do gratuitous amount of damage to any Pokemon that switches in on it. And he goes into his, bulky Sweet. When I go for the Grass Knot, which does a nice hefty chunk of damage, as he goes for the Scald, I'm just praying don't burn me, and it doesn't. So that's a lot less to worry about. Another good thing, this thing has natural special bulk, and because it's a steel type, it could switch in on, say, a Choice Scarf Draco Meteor, and then set up from there, and wreak some havoc, or just hit someone with a Hydro Pump to the face. And of course, his last Pokemon is the Zapdos, which I'm just gonna Hydro Pump away, because when doing calcs, the Torah boosted Hydro Pump would have did more than the super effective Ice Beam anyway. And that was the end of that match, and as you see, you didn't really see much more of my Pokemon, which I think that's kind of good. I think that's a good match. So I'm just gonna jump right back into a Pokemon Online match, which is another great example of why people should use Empoleon more. Really, he's UU. I don't understand it because I guess the way I use him, he's really good. He's won me a pretty good amount of matches. This specifically because he's a Steel type, and as you see, this is actually a rather very quick match because I switch onto my Hydreigon. Oh, he switches on to Hydreigon, which I switch out into his Heatran. Damn it, I'm just stupid right now. Heatran, me, Hydreigon, him. Okay, there we go. Let's just move on from there. I'm not going to explain anything else. You can figure it out on your own by watching the video. Now, switch on to Fuego, which is going to get the Flash Fire boost from the Hydreigon's Fire Blast, even though I was expecting actually a Draco Meteor. And it reveals, I believe, it's Expert Belt, so it's pretty interesting, because the Surf is a pretty good threat. And I have a Flash Fire Fire Blast, which I believe I'm going to go for next. No, I'll go for the Toxic so I can wear this thing down. Because I really don't need it just trying to destroy my team. Especially since it's not Scarfed at all. It's not something I want to deal with. Now, I switch out into my Archanon. I guess expecting another Surf, which I get. And I believe I'm going to go for the Dual Chop here. Yep, and 1 and 2, and it's dead. It's a pretty good set here. And here I switch right out and go to my Empoleon. And this thing's going to go for a Blizzard, which doesn't do a damn thing to my Empoleon. And I set up an Agility, Strain Risk, and look at that. Because of those defense EVs, survives an Earthquake from a Swampert, who is no joke when it comes to attacking, especially with a Stab Earthquake. And again, I'm in Torrent range, so that Hydro Pump is going to be doing severe damage to any Pokemon that's coming in. And because of the Agility, I'm really fast. Interesting enough, with that Agility, I believe I'm able to outspeed a Choice Scarf Rotom by about 2 or 3 points. So even if it switches in on a Hydro Pump, especially if it's Torrent Boost, it's not something it's going to want to do. And from there on, obviously, he's going to KO it. And yeah, as I was saying, just another reason to use Empoleon. He's a really good Pokemon. I hope you enjoyed my videos, guys. I'll definitely try to upload some more rather soon. As for now, I have some chores to do, so I will see you later. Shin signing off.